Hey guys, how's it going? Twiggs here, and we're trying out Nilou. Nilou. However you say it. I'll go with Nilou. We'll say Nilou. She's a character that just came out today. So far, I have tried her out for a little bit. She is pretty interesting, but we're going to go over exactly what she does with you guys. So before we jump into the overview, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm, helps get my channel out there so we can build a community over here. And if you do subscribe to the channel, you'll get gaming content from me involving Genshin Impact, Destiny 2, and other games that catch my eyes. And also, hit that notification bell so you'll be informed whenever I go live or upload any new content. Now, let's talk about Nilou. Nilou is an interesting character. She's a sword user. What makes her kind of unique is that she only has 3 slashing attacks, which is kind of unique for a sword user. She has a skill here that when she pops it, it infuses her attacks with hydro damage, and then buffs her damage based on her max HP. So let's take a look at it right here. Pop the skill. And then popping it just like that. Then we can talk about the ult, or the burst. She pops a big AoE blast of hydro damage, and the damage is scaling off her max HP. So Nilou is a character that you just really want to invest shitloads of HP into, so that you're getting the most damage out of her. Then, the Court of Dancing Petals. So, I'm not going to read all this because it is quite a bit, but it can be very easily simplified. If your party consists of nothing but Hydro and Dendro characters, this passive talent will activate. And what it does is that it basically takes the Dendro cores that would pop up, or from the bloom effect, it basically takes that and then makes it to where when this talent activates, instead of creating regular Dendro cores, the effect of Hydro and Dendro mixing together would make bountiful cores. And it also does a secondary effect. It also boosts the elemental mastery of all nearby characters in your team by 100 points. So that way, whenever these bountiful cores do form, they're going to be at least doing pretty good damage. So that's basically what this passive talent does. I should also add that if you happen to end up basically adding another character of a different element that's not Dendro or Hydro, like I said, this talent only works if your whole party is Dendro and Hydro. If at any point you add a different element to this team, the passive talent will not activate. This talent, this skill, is dead. And with this talent, it's pretty self-explanatory. Every 1,000 points of Nilou's max HP above 30,000 will cause the damage dealt by bountiful cores created by this character's effect to be buffed by 9% for every 1,000 above 30,000. So with this Nilou in the test, it's above 50,000. So she's 20,000 points above 30,000, meaning that's some pretty good damage. And this Nilou is also using the new 5-star sword, the Key of Kajet Nisut. I'm probably butchering that name, but it is what it is. So Nilou here, I'll let her speak for herself. Alright, so we're gonna pop the ult here. Pop this, and as you can see, the Dendro cores being created, they're literally exploding as soon as they form, which is part of the effect of bountiful cores compared to Dendro cores. They literally explode the second, just about the second they're formed. As you can see, they're exploding as soon as they form.
Just like we rehearsed. Dance with the waves.
Boom. As soon as they form, they're here. So, this is my thoughts on Nilou. So, after playing with Nilou for a bit and trying her out, seeing her gameplay, I'm actually happy for Nilou because it shows that the strategy that she locks you into is at least of value. It at least is usable. I would have been really upset and really disappointed for people that... I would have been disappointed on behalf of the people that wish for her if her strategy was actually underwhelming. But I'm actually, like I said, happy because it is usable. It is good. My problem with Nilou is, like I stated in my previous videos, is that she locks you into a strategy, and if you want her to use her optimally, this is the strategy you would have to use. If you try to use her in any other form or way, she's going to be, unfortunately, not good compared to characters like Tartaglia. That's what I'm trying to get to, is that it's strategies that she locks you into. And part of the issue with that is that we only have 3 Dendro characters in the game at the moment. One of those is Kale here, the other one is Dendro Traveler, and the third one is Tignari. One of those characters is a 5-star, and that means that not a lot of people are going to have that 5-star. So if you're one of those people that did not wish for Tignari, well, you're unfortunately locked into Kale and Dendro Traveler, and then one other Hydro unit of your choice. And if you only have Dendro Traveler and Kale, then your only other... I mean, if we're talking team, if we're trying to create the most optimal team, you don't have a healer in that team. You only have Kale, who's a Dendro applicator. You only have Dendro Traveler, who's a Dendro applicator. Nilou's the one that's driving this team. So what are you left without? A healer / shield unit. And as far as I know, the only shield unit that can be considered a shield unit in Hydro is Xingqiu, which is not a bad choice. If you decide not to go with Xingqiu, then your only other healer is Barbara or Kokomi. But Kokomi's a 5-star. And if you don't have Kokomi, well, you're locked to either Xingqiu or Barbara. I'm talking like most optimal team-wise. So that's kind of the issue, is that I feel like where Dendro has so very limited characters, and that's understandable since Dendro's a new element, you really don't have many options to pick from, so you really are left with kind of suboptimal units. Here's to looking at Kale. Dendro Traveler, on the other hand, is very usable, and she's very good. That's my issue with Nilou. It's really kind of a two-parter. She locks you into a team comp that, at the moment, seems kind of suboptimal due to the lack of Dendro characters in the game at the moment. If we had maybe a Dendro healer, then I would love to take Kale out of the team and put that Dendro healer into the team, and then have a different unit to play as my other Hydro unit, maybe like Yelan or Ayato. I really feel like Nilou may be one of those characters that gets better over time, so that we can maybe experiment more with her team composition that's already very limited. That's my thoughts on Nilou. I do think she's pretty good. I do think that this is a strategy that could be very good, even though it's very limited. So if you guys did wish for Nilou, I do think you're getting a decent character out of her. I do think that if you can manage to get her team composition that's already limited worked out, you'll get some good value out of her. And you'll get more value out of her as more characters come along. So, not a bad character, pretty good. So, that's my thoughts. So, hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll be informed whenever I go live, and I'll catch you guys later.